Hey guys, how's it going? Daniel here. Today we're taking a look at the Oculus Quest and the Oculus Rift S. Now I've been using both of these for about a week, a lot. So I've spent a lot of time in VR this week. And this is gonna be basically a review of both of these guys, what I think about them, and which one in the end I would recommend over the other, even if you do already have a gaming PC. So the first thing I wanna get to is that both of these do retail for $400 plus tax. There is a $500 version of the Oculus Quest with a little bit more space on board. However, I don't recommend that at all, regardless, because that's just a lot of space for what there currently even is for VR. So you won't be filling up the space on the 64 gigabyte model anytime soon. With that said, of course, these two appeal to completely different people. The Oculus Quest is designed to be an all-in-one headset that doesn't require a PC or any, extra setup that might be confusing for some. The Rift S, on the other hand, is for those that have a gaming PC, want to take advantage of that power and get higher end games and higher end quality of certain games on this device. So that is the main difference between the two. One thing I want to get out of the way right now is that for the Oculus Quest, we have around a couple dozen of apps and games right now available. I would say about a dozen solid games that if you were to get this, you would like about 12 games in total. And the rest would be games that might not be for you. So it's a very small library right now. Of course, it's going to continue to grow, but developers do have to take their apps and optimize them for this Quest. However, with the Rift S, you can play any VR game that's on Steam or on the Oculus store. So you won't be limited by anything. If your computer can run it, then you can play it on this VR headset, which is a big deal because there are a bunch of really, really cool VR games that you just can't do on the Rift, or on the Quest. So on the Quest, what you get is a lot of mini game type games, and the few games that are kind of full games, you do get a lot of downgrade in graphics. So for example, Total Recall, which is a quite popular game on the Rift, which was very nice and it looks really nice when you play it, it's heavily downgraded on the Quest, and it is very noticeable that it's been downgraded. So if you care about graphics at all or anything, I think you already know your answer. If you have a gaming PC, then you might want to go for the Rift S. But that's really the only reason that I recommend the Rift S. Anything else aside from that, build quality, the actual resolution, the way it fits, the way you can put it on your head, the fact that it's wireless, everything I think is superior on the Quest. The only little thing that I noticed was a little better on the Rift S was the sound, but only by a tiny bit. It is a little bit front heavy because everything is on the front and this doesn't weigh anything on the back. However, the fact that this is very soft and malleable means that you can rest your head up against a wall on your bed or anything without anything digging into your head. It also allows you to kind of put it on like this and keep it up top, which is nice. And it's just easy to put on. I put it on, it turns on, and I'm already in the confirmed Guardian stage, which is awesome. So it's super quick, it's super nice, and I think for an entry into VR, it makes a lot more sense to get the Quest. If you're already a VR veteran, I just don't think the Rift S is worth it. I think it's better off to wait until, I don't know, something like the Index or something that's just much better, because it just feels like Facebook and Oculus don't really care about this one. They even gave it to Lenovo. This design is by Lenovo or manufactured by Lenovo, while the Quest itself is manufactured by Oculus and Facebook. So they definitely do care more about that Quest than this one right here. With that said, this is something that you can wear for more time, mainly because the weight is more evenly distributed. It feels like a helmet. It feels like you're putting on some, bicycle helmet or something like that, and it feels nice. However, I just don't feel that the materials feel quite as premium as those on the Quest. And even this little mushy material here, foam, is quite a bit lesser quality than that on the Quest. It's also doesn't seem to be removable in any sense, so I can't take it off and swap it out or clean it in any way. While the Quest one right here, I can just take it off and remove it right here. So let's see if it comes off. Why isn't it coming off? So there you go. You can it can come off, and then you can just switch it out for another one. So if you have a family member, you could just buy another one of these or something like that, and they can use it when they want to use the headset. I don't know, something like that. It also has a glasses spacer, so you can just leave it in there because it doesn't really add that much space that would annoy non-glasses wearers. I actually even ended up using this whole headset without glasses 99% of the time because the resolution looked fine. My eyesight isn't that bad. However, with previous VR headsets, I have had to use glasses. This one is good enough that I don't need to use glasses and the experience is still solid. So I like all those little things. Things seem more, I don't know, polished and finished and more thought out than what the Rift S here is. The Rift S does have an extra camera at the top, which is gonna allow you to track more things. For example, some tracking might be better when you're throwing a grenade, things like that. Aside from that, the controllers and everything for tracking is just really spectacular for what it is. For the fact that there are no other cameras around tracking you or anything, it does a good job of assuming things. The only problems that I ran into with tracking were in games like Rec Room, where if I grabbed a crossbow and I wanted to do this, or a bow and arrow and I wanted to do this, or a sniper and I wanted to do this, once you get right here, it loses tracking and it kind of goes whoop, 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 and you kind of lose it and it kind of takes you out of the experience a little bit. However, once you know that, you can just put the sniper here or the crossbow here, and then there's no issue. So of course, we're not quite there yet. These are, or they feel like they're the first gen consumer headsets. So if you're willing to get into what is gonna essentially be the first generation of this new wave that's about to come in VR, then you're gonna be very satisfied with either one of these two. However, if you want something that's really polished, that you're not quite sure about VR yet, and you really want something that's gonna blow your socks off straight off the bat, I don't think we're quite there yet. I mean, these products are amazing in and of themselves. However, they're amazing for people that are already a little bit interested in VR. So if you've ever tried Cardboard or Gear VR, anything like that, and you've kind of liked it, and you're more interested into getting into VR, I think the Quest is gonna be something that you're gonna freaking love, and it is a great upgrade to any of those devices, especially with that $400 price tag. It would be nice if sometime during Black Friday, maybe this came down to $349 or $300, and that would be even more worth it, because it is nice to save some extra money if you can for the games, which are a little bit expensive, $30 to $40 or so. I do also want to talk a little bit about adjustability. You do have some Velcro here on right and left at the top, and ideally how you want to put this on is putting most of the weight on the back, so you just make sure that the back strap is more to the back of your head as possible, and that'll be comfortable enough. As you can see here with the Rift S, there's plastic everywhere and it's a hard shell, so you can't really lean onto anything. However, this kind of works like the PSVR, where you basically put this guy on your head and then tighten until you feel good, and then maybe remove this Velcro and tighten that to make it feel a little bit better. And then most of that weight is gonna be on the top, and the front of the helmet right here isn't gonna feel like it weighs very much, because this is all supporting that front, which is nice. There isn't an up and down motion to actually adjust this, so I couldn't get the Rift S to feel as perfect or as comfortable as the Quest itself. This one, I just ended up being able to get it closer to my eyes and in a better position where I let less light in. And with this one in the best position I could, it let a little bit more light in. Both of them do let some light in through the bottom. I don't mind that. Once you're playing, you totally forget about it. And it's only the tiniest bit, and you really have to look down. I actually like the fact that I can kind of look through the bottom and see certain things when I need to from, my living room and stuff. And I also like the fact that it lets a lot of air in so that things don't fog up or anything. Fogging up is not an issue in any of these. I remember when I tried out Gear VR once, and that was just horrible. The original Rift would also fog up quite a bit for me. I had no issues with these, even with 2-hour play times and stuff like that, so that's great. As far as nausea and all that goes, it happens from time to time. The refresh rate isn't that great on either of these two. The Rift S is a little bit better, but not by that much. It does make experiences a little bit better when you compare them side by side. The exact same thing with the actual quality of the games. It's a little bit better on the Rift S, but again, it's just a little bit better, not a lot better, and it requires a $700 PC to run. This doesn't require anything else. If I was gonna buy a headset for my PC, I'd go all out and get something really amazing, maybe a Windows Mixed Reality headset, but of course there's no perfect headset right now, right? Oculus has some great tracking, others have some great screen resolution, like the latest Samsung Mixed Reality, the Odyssey, I think it is, the Odyssey Plus. So there's really nothing that's perfect just yet. I think If you're getting a PC headset, you're gonna have to compromise. However, with the Quest, the little compromises there are palatable and they work, and it's a $400 headset. It does everything all in one. You can just enter VR and that's it. Don't worry about anything. Even if you have a PC right now and your original one right now is the Oculus Rift, then I highly recommend just upgrading to this. This is gonna be an upgrade in and of itself from the original Rift. It's just amazing. It looks better than the original Rift. It feels better, it tracks better. You don't have to worry about any light boxes or anything, or lighthouses or anything. And I really like it. All the physical controls on here, volume buttons, the manual PD adjustment, everything about this headset is just really exciting, really fun for the future, and really great. However, the Rift S, on the other hand, is just barely an upgrade over the original. It is an upgrade, it's just barely an upgrade, and I just don't feel that it's quite as awesome as this Quest right here, where you can play without wires, without worrying about anything. And even if you have a gaming PC, for now, if you need a VR headset and you want one, I would recommend looking into this Quest, even though you are gonna get lower quality games and less games. I think this is what the future of consumer VR is gonna be wireless like this, and not having to worry about a gaming PC or a PC in general being connected to it and a big wire hanging off it. Because this wire right here that you see here, unless I run it through the ceiling and make it somewhat feel wireless, it is quite annoying still to use, right? You get an not HDMI, but a DisplayPort and USB 3.0 to connect to your computer. And it's quite a heavy cable, you know? You feel it when you're moving around. It prevents you from doing certain things that you wanna do. You don't feel quite as free as this, right? So again, Oculus Quest, amazing experience, a great little device for what is the start of the consumer VR generation. We're just gonna get really crazy from here. A couple of years from now, we'll be reviewing a headset that is just 10 times better than this right here, or at least hopefully we will be. So if you're interested in VR, check it out. You might end up loving it. And if not, then wait a couple more years for something that might be a little bit better for you, because this is still in its beginning, in its infancy, and the store is lacking in quite a few titles. So hopefully, given time, we'll get more titles on there, and I'm sure we will, but maybe just wait off until we do have more titles on there, or maybe this comes bundled with some games for free, because right now it does not. So that is my thoughts on the Oculus Quest and the Rift S. Oculus Quest, great product. Rift S, it's a solid product. It's just not as exciting as it could have been. I think it should have been a $600 headset with a better screen resolution, with a better refresh rate, and I don't know, maybe even some better tracking than what this one has, So a much better high-end headset, but it doesn't seem like they're interested in doing high-end headsets. We're gonna have to see what other companies are gonna do for high-end headsets, or unless they're holding something off for maybe next year in 2020. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think about the Quest and the Rift S, and if you plan on getting one. I'm actually really interested to see, because I've ran into a ton of Quest players on Rec Room and VR Chat, and it's kind of crazy how many people actually got this Quest to get into VR, and it's really impressive what this is doing for VR, and hopefully that leads to more games and apps and better quality titles on VR. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below, and again, let me know your thoughts, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Goodbye.